And here we go. Welcome in to another edition of Bucky and BK. Today is Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. We appreciate y'all spending some time with us. Alongside Bucky Godbolt, I am BK Brad Kellner. Plenty to get into on today's program. We will recap Texas basketball's ugly win over South Carolina. Today is also National Signing Day.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, everybody. Yes, sir.
You know, you promised.
Horns.
No, see, you promised the people that you would be wearing.
I'm not getting dressed up.
Well, you're the one who's trying to hype up National Signing Day.
I am hype. Look at the horn. Look at the horns. Got my ring on. Got my hat on. St. Patrick hat. I got my gear on. Hey, big things are happening this morning. Let's get the fax machines rolling.
That's just a normal outfit for you.
Come on, man.
I
went St. Patrick heavy today.
Don't try to con the people and act like this is something different than what you would wear on the other 364 days of the year.
I shaved this. I'm ready. This is a big day.
You have to shave your head?
Yes, I have. What do you think? It just falls out? I mean, I wake up. No, there's some little hairs. If you wanted to see me grow this out and just have this ring around my head, bald in the middle with a little hair on the side, I could do that. That could be a bit someday.
You could rock the Costanza?
I could rock the Costanza, the George Jefferson. No way. No way. And I haven't done it for 20-some years now. I can't even imagine what that looks like. My wife wants to see that.
The people not only want to see that, they need to see that.
They don't need to see that, dude.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. I thought you were just fully bald and you weren't capable of growing hair.
No, the Friar Tuck look will not be good. The black tuck.
Oh, my gosh. So we'll talk National Signing Day. Jordan Scruggs of Horns 24/7 will join us in hour number 2. We'll go over the one signee that the Longhorns have today, and we'll talk about the entire 2026 class as a whole. We've got some NBA news to dive into. The trade deadline is tomorrow, but we've already seen a couple of blockbuster deals in the association. Talk about the college football playoff, announcing some dates for the playoff in 2026 and 2027, and a couple of weird, interesting stories out there beyond the world of sports. So we are locked and loaded and ready to go on a hump day edition of the show.
By the way, good day to the soldiers at Fort Hood, Texas, the soldiers in the state of Texas, and all those that fight for us each and every day, of course. Thank you so very much for what you do. We do appreciate what you do. And to you and your families, do be safe out there.
Yes, indeed. Well said.
Absolutely.
As always. All right, let's open up with a little Longhorn basketball conversation, Buck. Last night, Texas took care of business against South Carolina at the Mood, 84-75, the final score. It wasn't pretty. Another sluggish start for the Longhorns. Remember, they trailed by as many as 14 in the first half against Oklahoma on Saturday. They're able to come back to win that one. Last night, they trailed by 9 early on, and they were able to come back and find a way to get the job done. So they've been playing with fire a little bit, but they found a way to win against two teams near the bottom of the SEC standings. It was kind of a chore to watch at times last night, but again, most importantly, they got the dub.
Yeah, I mean, they're just a better team. That's a bad team they played last night. They should have crushed that team. If they come out and play the way they played some of the time in the second half, they would have just crushed them by 25 points. They could have. And Heidi Ho looked good last night. That dude was on fire. Find a way to get that guy the ball. He has now found his stroke, and now you need to run some plays for that dude. I mean, he's big enough and physical enough. Like you said, he's a really good athlete. I saw him slam one last night. But he's a good enough athlete to get up in the air and jump over guys. But they need some really set plays for him if he's going to stroke the ball like he was last night. I mean, he looked fantastic, I thought.
I'm with you. I think that was the goodest good as we talk about the good, bad, and ugly from last night's win. Cam Heidi, that's 3 straight double-digit performances for him. 12 points last night, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. He's been so good at shooting threes. Look, he shot 50% last night, which is very good. He actually lowered his season average.
Yeah, his stroke looks fantastic.
Yeah, so you've got to find ways to keep getting him shots. And, Cam Heidi, after the game, was interviewed by the local press, and he was asked like, "Hey, what's changed in your game? Why are you playing so well as of late?" And he basically said that Sean Miller's like yelling at him to shoot more and be more aggressive. And it's like, you see why. He's a knockdown shooter. I mean, he's the type of guy, you and I were talking before the show today, Buck. He's the type of guy that can, carry Texas to some wins. If this Longhorn team does
Yes.
in the NCAA tournament, he's the guy who can get hot, make 5 or 6 threes, and win a game in March. Like, you need guys like that to be successful this time of the year. And Cam Heide finding his stroke is a really good thing for this team.
Yeah, I mean, don't expect the Pope to do that to you in big, crucial games. He's going to hit his every once in a while. He'll get a little streaky, but on a consistent basis, you got to find ways offensively to run plays through this dude to get him open in the corner or anywhere over the three-point line. He's smooth. He looks fantastic. As I said, those last 3 games, he's been very aggressive with his shots. Their guys are looking for him, by the way. They're trying to find him, at that three-point circle and let it fly to him so he can let it loose. And you know what? No, he's never going to be a good defender. That's just not going to happen. You're going to really suffer with his defense. But that guy can score you some points in big clutch games if you find a way offensively to get him going.
Yeah.
Don't let him all of a sudden disappear now after the last couple of games. Don't let him all of a sudden get 6 points and you're not throwing the ball out to him. Set him up some way.
I agree. And yeah, you can live with, some deficiencies on defense if he's going to be knocking them down like that on offense. So great to see Cam Heide, again, finding a rhythm on offense. Dalen Swain, another solid performance. They were talking about this on the TV broadcast last night, how Dalen Swain just quietly goes about his business, right? He had 22 points and 10 rebounds last night. He doesn't always make the flashiest plays, doesn't always make the highlight reel. He just puts his head down, goes to work every single night, and he has been Mr. Consistent. We've spent a lot of time talking about how Tremont Mark and Jordan Pope and Modest Vokatitis are sort of up and down. You can rely on Dalen Swain pretty much every night to go out and have a great game, and he did that again yesterday.
Yeah, Vokatitis, I was a little disappointed. I thought he was soft last night. I was like, this is a bad team you're playing against. You really, with your height and strength, you need to take advantage. And he played kind of soft, I thought, in the middle last night.
Yeah, he struggled. He was in foul trouble for most of the night, ended up fouling out, which is obviously not good. Yeah, there were just some bad moments for him where he just looked out of sorts, out of place. He was hanging his head at times.
Yeah, he looked very sad. That's why maybe soft and sad go together. He looked kind of sad last night.
Yeah, well, look, getting in rhythm is important, and Modest just couldn't do that, right? Got off to a decent start, but again, just too many silly fouls on defense. Like every time he was starting to do something, he'd commit a bad foul and have to go walk over to the sideline to sit. Only ended up playing 24 minutes in this game.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that they need to get going early. Run some stuff through him, get it to him down there where he either get to the free throw line or get an easy basket. They've got to start running some offense through him. Generally it's through the other guys. And like I said, Pope will take shots. Like he'll come off a screen where he's not even set and he'll just fire it and you're going, oh boy.
Well, I think they run enough offense through Modest just some nights. I mean, his greatest strength is getting to the free throw line. It's funny because on defense, his biggest liability is fouling people, right? Sending them to the free throw line. But on offense, his biggest strength is getting to the line. He is a tough guard. But sometimes he puts the ball on the ground. It's a little careless. It's a little sloppy. And, sometimes he hooks defenders with that off arm, and the refs were calling that last night. There were a couple of moments where it's like, dude, you're 7 feet. Just dunk the ball. You don't need to try to bring it down.
I was wondering why he was bringing the ball down. It was already up there.
Right. You don't need to bring the ball down. You don't need to put the ball on the floor. You're taller than everybody else out there. Just hold it above your head and then dunk it. And there was one play where he missed 3 bunnies in a row. Like wide open layups. He kept getting his offensive rebounds because, again, he's the tallest guy on the floor. But it's like, dude, just dunk the ball. You don't need to be trying to bank it in here. So, I mean, he's been good throughout the year. Just a bit of an off night for him. Still ended up with 12 points. He wasn't terrible.
Like you said, he looked soft. There's some soft plays by him, And he's got those fouls when he gets you on the elbow. And he's taller than all he has to do is keep his hands straight up in the air.
I'm with you. Yeah,
and move his feet. He just doesn't move his feet that well. He's not that nimble. He takes up a lot of room. There are times when he's off the court that they play so well because the middle isn't clogged up by his big old body,
Yeah, I'll give Lucina Traore some credit too. 16
He's
valuable minutes
aggressive
off the
last night for a
bench.
change.
Yeah, 5 points, all of it at the free throw line, 3 rebounds, played some decent defense as well. I mean, that's, Texas doesn't have a ton of depth on the front line. So whatever they can get out of Lucina Traore is very welcome. And I thought that was another good from the win is the law firm of Wilcher, Weaver, and Traore, as I like to call it. Those guys combined for 17 points, ate up some valuable minutes. And again, when Modest didn't have it, Jordan Pope only had 3 points. Like, you need some of those other guys to pick you up a little bit. And last night, the bench did just that.
When Wilcher shows up for anything on the positive side, that's a good sign. And that's been 3 straight games for him too, where he looks like he's a part of the team,
Agreed. 7 points last night, 4 assists, 0 turnovers. That's a big key for Sim Wilcher, kind of running the second team offense. So, yeah, I like that. I mean, Cam Heide, Sim Wilcher, Lucina Traore, Kendall Weaver, if those quote-unquote other guys can give you what they gave you last night, then you've got a chance to win some games here in the final month or so of the regular season.
And you got to win some games over the bad teams because that was a bad team last night.
Yeah, it was. It
and
was.
That bad team was in it for a while, made me a little nervous. I was thinking Texas would find a way to get going, but there were some nervous moments in that game.
Oh, they were more than just in it. I mean, South Carolina led for about 75% of the first half. And again, the Horns trailed by as many as 9 last night. So it wasn't just like, oh, they're in the game. It was, no, they were playing with the lead for a lot of it. And then you're right. In the second half, look, Texas went on a big run to close out the first. They took a 4-point lead into the locker room, but they couldn't distance themselves from the fake USC. They just kind of hung around. And sometimes when you let a bad team hang around, bad things can happen. Thankfully, late in the game, we haven't talked about Tremont Mark yet. A lot of last night wasn't good for him, but he had some big shots late. Dalen Swain came through late. I mean, this game was very close in the final couple of minutes, and Texas was able to go on a run to put it away. So that was nice to see. Like, when they absolutely had to make those winning plays in crunch time, they were able to do it to prevent what would have been a pretty catastrophic loss for their tournament.
No doubt about it. I thought Mark was aggressive. Like you said, late in the game, he wanted to go to the free throw line. He looked like a guy who wanted to go to the hoop, and you have to foul him with his athleticism last night again. I told you, I said that yesterday, I thought he settled too much for his jumper because his jumper's been okay. That 15-foot range for him has been okay. He doesn't have a great jump shot, but over the last couple of games, he's worked that. But when it's not working, he hasn't been going to the free throw line. He's just kind of been an innocent bystander there offensively. But last night, he wanted to go to the free throw line. He was aggressive going to the hoop.
Yeah, he was. And again, some
he's hard to stop, man. That herky-jerky move of his is just hard for you to defend. And if you're not a good enough athlete to stay with him, he's going to jump over you.
Yeah, well, he's an experienced guy, right? This is year 6 for Tremont Mark in college. He's 24 years old. I mean, he's learned a thing or two because he's seen a thing or two.
He's got a little bit of old man game in him because he is an old man.
He is an old man. No, not you, old man. But
no, not that kind of old man. He's got old man game.
Does have a little YMCA game to him.
Yes, he does.
That was nice to see. Here's Sean Miller talking about last night's win over South Carolina, what he was happy about, and some things that need to improve for this Texas team going forward.
Tonight was just one of those nights where, my concern before the game and even during the game is, we didn't have the juice. 6 p.m. game and a late arriving crowd. I just thought like part of the first half, and this is no disrespect to South Carolina because, I have an amazing amount of respect for them and Lamont. They play teams tough. He's a really good coach, and they're in games, man. They're a hard team to put away. But our effort level and just concentration first half of the first half was not what it's going to take. We're fortunate to get through that. I thought we were better in the second half. We just had, some head-scratching moments, not being able to get a defensive stop, fouling, and obviously missing a couple point-blank layups, which usually when you miss those easy ones now, they have a way of coming back and haunting you. So I'm thrilled that we were able to get through tonight with a win. It's really a pocket of time in our season where, we're asking a lot of our players, and I don't know if tonight we were as sharp and as ready as we wanted them to be, but we found the way, and I'm glad that we can kind of move forward. Tomorrow we have an off opportunity, and then obviously a huge game against Ole Miss on Saturday.
I mean, it's nice to say nice things about a team, and that's nice of him to give compliments to the opposing coach, but that team's no good they played. They should have slapped the crap out of that group, and they didn't. And whether it's slow start or not, this is the time of the year. Like I said, you need to find ways to get the ball to Heidi. You need to go through the big man. You need to start really getting stuff together as you get ready for March. Now, this is, the schedule's still tough enough. Still going to have some tough SEC games, but these teams like South Carolina, Mississippi, that's just as bad. You need to be putting those teams away. They shouldn't be in ball games winning by 9 points over you, and especially when you got a home game. That can't happen. You got to be starting to build towards that crescendo. I know it sounds like, well, it ain't, we're just getting in the middle of February, but there's some things that need to be on the positive side, of what they do, and fast starts need to be one of them for sure.
I'm with you. Yeah, they were 13.5-point favorites last night. Didn't cover the line. I mean, they never led by more than that last night. At times, they just didn't have the energy. They just didn't have the juice from the opening tip, and they got off to a sluggish start, and that's something that Coach Miller has to figure out because, again, that's 2 games in a row where just they were seemingly not ready to play. Now, ultimately, all that matters is they found a way to win, and I will iterate and reiterate, there is no such thing as a bad win in the eyes of the tournament committee. Right? The eye test in college basketball matters so much less than the eye test in college football.
Yes.
Because a couple of reasons. Number one, there are so many more games in college basketball. Number two, there are so many more teams in college basketball. Like the members of the tournament selection committee are watching all of these games all of the time. They're not going to remember, Texas didn't look all that great on February 3rd against South Carolina. They're going to look and see, okay, Texas took care of business. That was a game they were supposed to win. They found a way to win. Boom. That's a good point on their resume. So it wasn't pretty. A lot of things to clean up. But obviously this sport is determined by getting to the NCAA tournament and having success in the NCAA tournament.
Sure.
Like just finding a way to win is what ultimately matters most. And it's not a resume boosting win, but it's sort of a resume salvaging win to beat a team like South Carolina.
Yeah, and Mississippi got the dog beat out of them, so they'll come in here with their heads down, and Chris Beer got thrown out of the game. So this looks like an opportunity to take a team that's down and keep them down.
Yeah, I mean, South Carolina came to town with an 11-11 record. That's what Ole Miss's record is right now. They are also at 500. They've got one more win in SEC play. South Carolina has 2. Ole Miss has 3, but they're 3-6 in the conference. One of the worst teams in the league, a team that very likely will not be playing in the tournament this year. Texas is going to be a big favorite again in this one.
Yes,
and you'd like for it to be more aesthetically pleasing. Again, the number one priority is just finding a way to win the game, but you would like for Texas, number one, to get off to a better start and then just kind of control an inferior opponent on their home floor.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm looking for on Saturday. So, Chris Beard's return to the ATX should be a pretty good crowd. And you mentioned it. They got smoked by Tennessee last night in Knoxville, and Chris Beard got ejected from the game in the second half. So, look, it's going to be an emotional game. It should be a really good crowd this weekend at the Mood. Again, Texas, the much better team. You'd like for them to get the job done. And the Longhorns now 5-5 in the SEC. They've got a very good chance to get back above 500. It's already the second time this year, Buck, that Texas has won back-to-back games in the SEC. Last year, they only did that one time. They've already done it twice. And again, they have a chance to put together a nice little 3-game winning streak if they can hold off Ole Miss.
Oh, yeah.
Weekend.
Yeah, I mean, just start getting everybody involved, start getting ready for tournament play here, and getting some of the guys that have been just kind of on cruise control, getting them going. Because like Heidi, like I said, that's a guy that you get towards tournament time, BK. You can win games with a guy like that who gets streaky and hits you 5 threes in a game. My goodness.
Yeah.
He can. The way he was stroking it last night. I mean, like I said, they were looking around for him. They were seeing, where's he located? Let me get the ball to him. Well, that when your teammates start looking for you, that's got to make you feel good. You want to stroke the ball well, and he was last night.
Telling you, he's a weapon for this offense, and you're right. They got to find a way to make him a bigger part of this offense. They can't just be a little
Sure.
3-game streak
Oh,
for Cam
no.
Heide. You got to make him a focal point. And look, I mean, Texas is in a pretty easy part of their schedule. We talked about this 5-game stretch that they're in. So far, they are 2-0. Ole Miss on Saturday. Then they've got a week off before playing Mizzou the following Saturday, and then LSU at home. 5 winnable games. After that, you've got, at Georgia, Florida, at A&M, at Arkansas. So you go from playing a bunch of bottom feeders in the conference to some of the toughest teams in the league. So this is the time you want to make up some ground.
Well, if you want to build your confidence, this is the one to build your confidence now.
That too.
That's what you want to do. You want to have everybody sharp for those games. Now you can go on the road and win. I mean, that road win they got before, that road win is still hanging in there really, really strong for them. So they got to keep that going. You can't go backwards now.
Can't go backwards. No, like you said, this is the time of the year you want to be playing your best basketball, and nice little 2-game modest win streak for Texas. But again, they've got to keep things rolling as we get deeper into February.
No doubt.
All right, we will shift gears here. It is National Signing Day.
Yes, it is. It's a big day. I was really surprised. We should have led off with that. We kind of did. We just talked about my gear. But see that right there? That's what it's all about right there. When you tell me these big signees that are coming in today, I'm very excited. My heart's been pumping all morning.
It's not signees, Buck.
No?
It's signee.
Signer. One signer.
You're right. Signer is probably the word to use to describe it.
Nobody owes anybody any favors here. Nothing's coming in here.
Well, you keep talking about that.
You
but,
owe me one, don't you? And there's no owe me ones out there?
No, seemingly no owe me's, no IOUs out there for Texas football. But we'll talk about the one guy who is expected to sign today, plus just kind of put a bow on the 2026 class as a whole. But before we shift gears, Buck, how about we get our first round of sponsor shout-outs?
So the folks over at Sue Patrick, of course, it's 1975. Tons of Texas-themed gifts, items, books, a wide variety of men's and women's clothing, of course. Sue Patrick offers free shipping on online orders, $59 or more, free curbside pickup, and plenty of parking space at 5222 Burnett Road, folks. Go there, and don't forget the Jelly Cats, of course. 50 years of apparel service in Texas. That is awesome. And in the Austin area, we love Sue Patrick, and you shall too. SuePatrick.com is where you find all the information, and they'll get all those orders to you. I'm telling you, within 48 hours, your stuff will be to you. I'm guaranteeing that from Jay. How's that? Guarantee to get the good gear right there. Online orders of $59 or more, free shipping just for you at Sue Patrick and SuePatrick.com.
48 hours. Have you talked to Jay about that?
No, I'm making that. That's what's going to happen for the new year. 48 hours, you'll get your gear. Your mom has been getting gear from them. It doesn't take them a week to get the gear to you.
Yeah, well, there's a difference between 48 hours and a week, sir.
All right. Oh, well, maybe stretch that a little bit more.
You may be getting a call from Jay here. And then
I like the weather. I'm the weather. Now I'm the FedEx guy, the UPS guy now.
Today, it's funny you say that because today is National Thank a Mail Carrier Day.
I do that. I don't give mine money. I give them booze.
Really?
Twice a year around Thanksgiving and Christmas, bottle of Tito's for my guy.
Well,
and he loves it. He's like big snot. Huh?
You think that's going to last then the other 10 months of the year?
No, it's at that time of the year when folks gather. He's got a nice fresh bottle, open up. I don't know. Maybe he and his wife or he and his girlfriend slam it down that same night. Who knows?
Maybe that guy slams it before he finishes the rest of his route.
Yeah. He does a great job. My mail deliverer is a good dude.
Yeah, me too.
He's always talking to the dog. He stops in the middle of the street to yell over at Louie and tell him what a goof he is, and then he drives off. Make sure I get my mail that gets sometimes you get stuff in other people's mailbox. This guy gets my stuff to me. It's the Amazon guys that are funny. Hey, I have a box out there for Amazon. Put it in the box. Don't put it between the gate and have the dog on the other side rip it apart, please. That's what the box is for. Why do you think I have this? What do you think this box is for out there? For the milkman, they don't have milk deliveries anymore.
Does it say put packages in here?
You don't have to say that. That's people know that. If you see a box out there by your mailbox, I mean, and it's can take large packages. That's where you drop. You just open it up, take a picture, dump it in. I see them do that. It's just there's so many different carriers for Amazon, I believe.
Yeah.
It's not like the mailman. It's not the same dude. It's like a different dude or a dudess every time, you know?
You're right. Now, you've got Newman showing up every day to deliver the mail, but
Yes.
Amazon has all sorts of jabronis working for them.
It's like they chuck it like a football over the fence.
Hey, got to have fun on the job, you know?
I guess.
Why not? Shout out to Sue Patrick. Also, a shout out to our friends at Audiovisual Consultations. You don't have to worry about any Amazons or mail with this. Now, these guys will come directly to you and hook you up with the home TV setup of your dreams. If you want to upgrade your television viewing experience, AV Consultations can hook you up the way they've been hooking up Central Texans since 1988, coming up on 4 decades here in the Austin area. You don't have to buy TVs. No, they take care of everything. They get TVs at a better price than you because they buy in bulk. They will come to your place. They will install the system the way you want it installed. I've got 4 TVs on one wall. If you want that, they can do it for you. The Buck has the 85-inch screen at his place. If you want that, they can do it for you. Home theater room with the awesome surround sound, patio setups for when the weather starts warming up. I think it's pretty warm today. AV Consultations can tackle all of those jobs for you. All you have to do is give them a call, and Tom and his crew will bring everything to you. 512-255-8678. It's 255-8678 or online at avconsultations.com.
I wonder if those fax machines are just lit up all over the place. I just need them lit up in Austin. That's all.
Well, we do have some good news, Buck.
Okay.
You know, we talked last week about the Longhorns landing a commitment from Elijah Ali, the defensive lineman from the state of California. At the time, he was unranked. He has now been given a 3-star ranking by the folks at 24/7 Sports. But more importantly than that,
Business Bureau, yes.
By the who?
Better Business Bureau ranked him as a 3-star.
I don't know if the BBB is doing recruiting.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Maybe they are.
I thought everybody's a part of this February. I like that.
We're
Get them all involved.
College baseball polls where literally anybody and everybody can make one.
Sure.
So now it's 24/7. It's on 3, and it's the BBB bringing you the
very nice
top recruiting rankings year in and year out. Well, when we talked about Elijah Ali's commitment, this was the picture they had for him on his recruiting profile.
Dark Vader.
Called him Dark Vader. Yes. Well, Elijah Ali is moving on up like the Jeffersons, because now you update his recruiting profile. There is, in fact, a real picture.
Yo, bro. Okay.
So that's him. That's the guy who is signing.
He still looks big. He still looks kind of big there.
Well, he is pretty big. I mean, he's 6'4", 6'5", 285 pounds, defensive lineman.
We're going to follow this dude's career.
It's a big body right there. And he is the one player expected to sign with the University of Texas today. So that's a nice cap for this 2026 class. And congrats to you, Buck. You've been trying to hype up National Signing Day 2 as some sort of big deal. For a long time, it seemed like Texas wasn't going to add anybody in this later window, but they did get one. So congrats to you.
We still got the rest of the day. You know, there's some kids partying at their schools, you know, having a little get together with some of the guys that are getting late scholarships offers. So maybe one will come in here, you know, before our show is over, or just after our show, just before lunchtime. Kids got to go to lunch, get a little gathering, maybe a little private school somewhere. Somebody's offered somebody. You know that's going to happen. It's happening.
You know, I know that's going to happen.
Yeah, there'll be another one today.
This crazy conspiracy theory that you're just making up on the spot is something that I know is going to happen.
You can feel it. I know you have a feeling it's about to come. That fax machine is about to just take off.
Yeah, we'll talk to Jordan Scruggs in hour 2 to get his thoughts on all of that. But excited about Elijah Ali, but more excited about some of the other names that Texas was able to sign in December. Most of these guys are already on campus, right? They were early
Yeah, they're
enrollees.
already here.
They're taking classes at the University of Texas. They're going through winter workouts and conditioning right now. And the Longhorns class ended up ranked 8th in the country this year. And there's some big names. A couple of guys we've spent some time talking about. Really excited about Jermaine Bishop out of Willis, Texas. Just put together one of the most productive high school careers we've ever seen by a player in this great state. And you know how many great players there have been playing Texas high school football. Jermaine Bishop named Mr. Texas Football by Dave Campbell's last week. This guy is an absolute stud, a two-way player in high school. I'm fascinated to see where Texas uses him. 5'11", 155 pounds, Buck. Not a big guy, but again, was a total difference maker at wide receiver. Also ran the ball a lot in high school. Also played defensive back a lot in high school. You talk about a jack of all trades. That's what Texas is getting with Jermaine Bishop. And I could see Steve Sarkisian and Will Muschamp kind of fighting on which guy gets to get Jermaine Bishop on his side of the ball.
Yeah, I'd love to have him as a cornerback for sure.
Yeah. I think my preference would be wide receiver.
Yeah, he's just 155. That's what I weigh. That's kind of thin.
But he's 5'11", so he's got you on the height.
Oh, yeah, he's got me by a foot.
Got you by a full foot. Yeah, you're 4'11".
Yeah, according to you.
It's nice of you to actually admit your real height.
No. According to you, he's got me by at least a foot, yes.
This guy is fast. I mean, he is a threat to take it to the house every time the ball is in his hands. Just super explosive, great long speed. And he's not just one of those like top end guys to where, once he's going and you're not going to catch him. He's got quick burst and acceleration too, to where he could just take off and go right after he catches it or right after he gets it on a handoff. And you're pretty much playing catch up from the jump. He's got that yak ability. He's got just sudden athleticism and, again, can make guys miss in the open field. Watching some of his highlights in huddle tape from his high school career, I mean, this guy is a special, special talent. Again, I can't wait to see what he actually does when we get to the fall.
Yeah, this is the head coach went out on this one. I mean, probably play wide receiver.
Yeah.
I would think we're going to get him on the field as quick as possible.
Right. Offensive-minded head coach. You know, it's interesting, though. I feel like Texas is deeper at wide receiver than they are at corner. And something you and I have talked about a bunch. It feels like it's tougher to crack the wide receiver rotation than it is really any other rotation on the team. So Texas obviously has Cam Coleman and Ryan Wingo and Emmett Mosley, and they just signed Sterling Burkhalter, the transfer from Wake Forest. And you've got Khalil Lockett and Dalen McCutcheon going into year 2. So all of those guys have college experience, and most of those guys have already been here at Texas. So I wonder, is there a clear path for playing time at wide receiver for Jermaine Bishop in year 1? Or
yeah, I mean, if he's an explosive kid that, like we thought that group last year, somebody would come out of that group of receivers and be the explosive one. This sounds like there's a guy the following year that truly is that type of player. I got to find a way to get him on the field somehow. I don't care if I got four in one room, 5 in one room, but if this is the most explosive guy that could flat out make you miss, I don't care if he's 150 pounds. We see those little guys get between out in open space and just go. If he's that guy, you got to find a way to use him.
And
the dude's Mr. Football in the state of Texas.
I know. That's a huge honor right there. And only one guy gets that every single year. So it is a big deal. And yeah, I mean, look, we've seen true freshman wide receivers play in the Steve Sarkisian era. We haven't seen it a lot, but Xavier Worthy, I think a lot of people can make a pretty easy comparison to Xavier Worthy because he was also smaller and incredibly quick as a wide receiver. And, we saw what he did at Texas. We're seeing what he's doing in the NFL right now.
Yep.
And Ryan Wingo, like those two guys did play good amounts as true freshmen. So what's the quote you always use, Buck?
If you're good enough, you're old enough.
A little creepy for my liking, but Steve Sarkisian has seemingly had the same mindset. He obviously felt like Khalil Lockett and Dalen McCutcheon and Jamie French and, Michael Terry, those 4 receivers who signed last year, he just didn't feel like they were ready. We'll
Right.
see if he feels like Jermaine Bishop is ready or if he just has more trust in those guys who, again, have more skins on the wall as college football players.
Well, I mean, it doesn't mean that the kid isn't. Once again, those receivers doesn't mean that they're not good. They're just not ready.
Right.
He doesn't feel like they're ready enough at this level, and not many freshmen just walk in and start playing. But if they do, it's generally those positions: wide receiver, running back. Those special positions offensively. They just are just naturals. And maybe the kid's Mr. Texas. Come on, man.
Right. Yeah. Look, if
He's
Jermaine
got it
Bishop,
all.
if he doesn't play a ton his freshman year, I'm not going to close the book on him and say,
Oh no, we don't do that.
Texas missed on him and, he was overrated and this, that, and the other. It's just, it is a deep wide receiver room. And
Dude, size-wise at 150, that guy's got some strength. That guy may be just off the street, maybe not a weightlifter, probably never done anything in a weight room, doesn't know what it's like, just eats whatever he wants to eat. Nutrition-wise, he's a high schooler having a good time.
Right. Well, I mean, considering the numbers he put up in high school, I have a hard time thinking that this guy didn't take that stuff seriously. I mean, 5,000 scrimmage yards, 60-plus touchdowns, 17 interceptions, 6 returns.
That's not a guy who's wandering the streets at 3 a.m. That guy's getting his rest.
That's not a guy who's like drinking before games on Friday night.
No.
Eating a bunch of Whataburger or P. Terry's.
No, he's doing pretty. He's keeping himself in pretty good shape to have that kind of yardage.
He set all sorts of records in the Houston area. And again, there's been some ridiculous talent that has come through the Houston Metro throughout the years. And Jermaine Bishop did some things that we have never seen anybody do in a high school career. So he is, I'm not supposed to pick favorites here, but I think he is my favorite of the signees for Texas in this class. 22 guys already enrolled on campus. They've got one, Nicholas Robertson, who signed back in December, but won't get here until the summer. And then Elijah Ali signing today. So it'll be a total of 24 coming from the high school ranks for the Longhorns.
Fabulous.
Yeah. A couple of other names to get to, talking about guys who I feel very good about playing early on. I think Tyler Atkinson is the name that you look at there first. The linebacker coming from the state of Georgia, 5-star, 6'2", 210, 215 pounds, a huge recruiting win from Texas. Again, going into the Peach State and poaching this kid away from Georgia. It's the second year in a row that Texas did that, right?
Yes,
Last year, it was Justice Terry, the 5-star defensive lineman, who made a little bit of impact in the back half of his true freshman season. And this year they go to linebacker with Tyler Atkinson. I know Texas went pretty portal heavy there. Rasheem Biles from Pitt, Justin Cryer from Florida State. They got Marcus Boswell from Akron. Obviously, T'Anthony Smith returns for another year. So it's not going to be easy for Tyler Atkinson to play, Buck. But everything I've heard about this young man is that, no, you should expect that dude to crack the rotation and be at least a decent part of Will Muschamp's defense in his first year on the 40 acres.
Well, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great. I mean, his body type is, he's big enough already. So, I mean, he's only going to get stronger. Like I said, some of these guys, once they get into the weight room at this level and start lifting, all of a sudden 8-10 pounds goes on pretty quickly.
Absolutely. And he was the Gatorade Player of the Year in Georgia in 2025. So he's got some ridiculous high school numbers and awards and accolades as well. I've seen some Roquan Smith comparisons.
Very nice.
Tyler Atkinson. I mean, that guy was a pretty high first-round pick after having a fantastic college career at Georgia, speaking of Georgia. But that's the guy. I mean, I don't think Tyler Atkinson's the only one. But if you asked me, like, hey, put a few bucks on which of these true freshmen that you think is going to make the biggest impact from day one, I would probably go with Tyler Atkinson first. And as our guy CB says, he trains with Derek Johnson, the best linebacker, one of the best linebackers in school history.
Yeah, no doubt.
Things to say about that, but we know how much of a legend Derek Johnson is. I trust anybody who's working out with that dude.
That's for sure. That dude looks good today.
That's incredible. Yeah. Now he is still very in shape, DJ. And he's got 5 kids too?
Yes.
That he's running around.
That's how he stays in shape.
You're probably right. Yeah, he's getting his cardio just from being a dad.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't figure out why Phillip Rivers doesn't look like that with all his what does Antonio Cromartie look like? I think that guy's like 13 or 14 kids. By the way, Antonio Cromartie, I'm sure you remember him.
Oh, yeah.
Random little nugget here. He has a kid who is being recruited by Texas right now.
Really?
One of his 14.
Very nice.
That may make you feel old. Yeah, I think he's in this 27 class of this this cycle that's really underway, but technically about to begin. So yeah, be on the lookout for that one there. So we'll talk to Jordan Scruggs more in hour 2 about some of these other guys that Texas is getting. Again, big fan of the class. Another top 10 class for Steve Sarkisian. Obviously, Diabell, the quarterback. That's another huge storyline that is going to happen more behind the scenes in 2026. But once Arch Manning leaves, we don't know who the quarterback is going to be at Texas. And it feels like a 2-horse race. KJ Lacey, who was the Longhorns quarterback signee last year, will be going into his redshirt freshman season. And then Diabell, the 5-star, the highest rated recruit that Texas signed here in 2026. He's coming in too. So it'll be a battle between those two guys. Obviously, the Longhorns went out and got an experienced backup for Arch Manning for this year.
Yes.
But that guy can only play one more year, so he's not going to be a part of things in 2027. When you're not to rush through the Arch Manning era, we're all very excited about what this year is going to hold. But that's going to be an interesting battle behind the scenes between KJ Lacey and Diabell about who is the future of the quarterback position for the University of Texas.
Sir, you're right about that, because the Arch Manning era is quickly – it's going to happen quick that he's not going to be here anymore. Right. It's going to seem like you say, well, he's still got another year, but my goodness, he's coming and going in a hurry.
Yeah, I mean, look, Arch Manning could technically come back in 2027, but something would, I think, have to go horribly wrong for that to actually happen.
Yes.
So the hope is Arch Manning balls out, has a great year, is a Heisman finalist, and leads Texas to a national championship, and then boom, he's off to the NFL. We get to root for him every Sunday.
Absolutely.
But you wonder, because both of those guys are so young, KJ Lacey, redshirt freshman, Diabell, true freshman, I have a hard time thinking the loser of that competition is going to be willing to stick around and just wait his turn.
And sit back for another year or wait for somebody to fail.
Right.
That's tough. And we see that in the portal anyway. The guys who get recruited, like 75% of them, 80% of them don't stay at the same school anyway.
Yeah, that's a battle that could go on. I mean, not just this year, but, into next spring and potentially into next fall as well. But obviously got to talk about the quarterback, Diabell, top 20 player in the country, number 1 player from the state of Florida, son of longtime NBAer Raja Bell. Big-time pickup. Texas was able to land his commitment early on, and they were able to fend off a bunch of other schools who were trying to get him to flip, but the Longhorns got it done. So there you go. There's sort of your 10,000-foot view of the Texas recruiting class here on National Signing Day 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's you still, as you said, recruiting is still your bread and butter, and in this state, it has to be. I mean, you can't let the high school coaches down when they have players. Texas has to be right in the thick of it every time on every player, no matter what the position is, because you're always going to need a position player. Very seldom these days with the numbers and the transfer portal do you say, well, we can't take another one at this position. And if they're a great one, yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can. With the new scholarship numbers, you absolutely can. And recruiting will always be the lifeline of a college football team, the lifeblood, if you will, of a good college football team. So it's still important. It still matters. This coaching staff realizes that. And again, I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but you look at a lot of the guys who are expected to be the best players on this 2026 Texas team. Those dudes were recruited and developed by the University of Texas. I mean, you look at some of the great players who have recently departed Texas, who are now playing in the NFL. Most of those guys were recruited, signed, and developed by Texas. The guys who were instrumental to the Longhorns winning the Big 12 and making the playoff in 2023, playing for an SEC title, making the college football playoff, winning a couple of CFP games in 2024. Those dudes were high school recruits who signed with Texas and got better here. So I know transfer portal is the flavor of the month and everybody's talking about that. And that stuff's great too. We're very excited about the portal pickups that Texas had. It's a big part of why we all feel like this could be a special season, but you can't just totally ignore the high school stuff. It's clear that Texas isn't. I mean, their staff is doing the work, going out and getting Elijah Ali very late in this process shows that. The fact that they already have 5 players committed in the 2027 cycle when the first national signing day is not until December. Like
right.
They still realize that they're still putting in the necessary work behind the scenes.
Oh, you got to be first in on, especially the great ones in the state. You got to be the first. If you're not the first one in, and you're Texas or Texas A&M, that's a problem for you. That's not going to bode well for you in the high schools around the area. You got to be the first one in the door.
That usually helps, right? You want to build those relationships early on. A lot of guys will end up committing. Just, hey, you offered.
So not only is it good for you immediately, it's good down the line if a kid goes to another school and says, you know what, I made a poor decision. I want to come back to Texas. I'm from the state. Yeah, I mean, those things happen. This is a part of the game now.
Sure.
It's not just when they're coming out of high school. It's the fact that they can go somewhere and be a sophomore and say, I want out of this place. And you look back at those kids and say, hell yeah, you come back here.
Relationship building is so instrumental to being able to recruit, not only out of high school, but also out of the portal too.
Right.
I mean, obviously, NIL money is a real thing. We know that. But the relationships that your coaching staff could build with the players. Also, it matters. Like when these guys come on visits, whether they're high schoolers or transfers, they spend a lot of time with current players on the roster.
Yes, they do.
So a lot of that is the coaches like, we think you'll vibe with this guy. Maybe this guy went to the same high school as you did. Maybe he's from the same area as you, or he plays the same position as you. We're going to make sure that you're hanging out with this guy a lot. So the relationship building, it's Sark and it's Brandon Harris and it's the assistant coaches, but it's also, it's important for, guys to peer recruit pretty consistently.
Oh yeah. I mean, your team has to be united too. You can't have a guy come on campus and, one guy's talking about somebody else on the team. That sucks. If you can beat him out, you can do this. No, you got to come here. You work hard, and you're going to have a real opportunity. You got to have the people that come to your school, out of the high school or the transfer portal, wants to know if your group is together.
Right. Well, I think
about your own. I don't care how you feel about me. You don't even know me. I'm just here for a visit. How do you feel about the players on your own team?
I feel pretty good about Texas in that regard, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
And this culture is established. It's in a very, very good spot right now. Obviously, you had some changes to the coaching staff that flipped the script a little bit. But, I mean, look, one of the changes was bringing Blake Gideon back. Will Muschamp is incredibly well respected.
Sure.
We talked about Cade Hogg, the recent linebacker commit out of Kingwood, and the quotes he gave about Will Muschamp and his track record. And then Jabbar Jalouk, the new running backs coach. Like, these guys all have skins on the wall. They're incredibly well respected. And yeah, I mean, I don't think that's going to cause any sort of ripple effect with that type of culture in Texas having everything together like you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, that's important. That's important for a player that's coming from someplace else that's maybe never been on your campus, especially the portal guys where they just hear it's all talk and it could be about money, but they just want to know that you got a team that's together because they like money, but they like to win too.
Yeah. They do.
You're not really believing.
They really like the money,
You're not really believing that. They like to win. You said they really like the money too.
You want to have your cake and you want to eat it too.
Yes,
right?
you do.
So
if you can have both, there's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. That definitely matters. All right, we'll take your thoughts. The Dakota text line 512-222-9328. Of course, you can hit us up in the live chats. Feel free to call into the show as well. There is a link in the comment section on YouTube if you want to chime in on anything that we are discussing here today. We have to talk about another screw up for college football, man. I mean, it's just unbelievable how many bad decisions our favorite sport can make. We still love it, always have and always will.
Really getting like the NFL Hall of Fame,
dude.
Committee.
I mean, it's such a big deal when the NFL screws something up because it just doesn't happen very often. College football, it's like, oh, they screwed something else up. I mean, it's just not surprising at all that they don't know what they're doing. And this is just the latest example of that. So we'll get to that in a moment. But first, how about another round of sponsor shout-outs?
Say to our friends over at Relax the Back, select zero-gravity recliners, select office chairs, plus they've always has great clearances like at the end of the year. Now you got the beginning of the year. So after January, when you go over there, look at some of the great sales and some of the accessories they have for your neck and your back and your hips. But you got to love the office chair. I love this office chair right here. This is so good, this chair, BK. Once again, folks, I take this chair from around this desk and sit in it when I'm watching sporting events. It's that relaxing, and it gives my back that kind of support. They have all of that for you at Relax the Back, of course. They got 2 great locations. One is in BK's at the Hill Country Galleria right across the street from Whole Foods, and in North Austin at the Gateway Shopping Center across from the Container Store. Like me, live pain-free at Relax the Back.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Relax the Back. Also, some love to centextickets.com. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Kim Mulkey.
The sweetest of the sweet arrive in Austin.
Cruella de Mulkey.
Not Swisher Sweets, but the sweetest of the sweet.
She'll be here. It's a big game, too. It's not just Kim Mulkey. You know, it's top 10 Texas, top 10 LSU. The Longhorns trying to avenge one of their 2 losses this season. If you want to be there for the 8 o'clock tip tomorrow night, Centex Tickets has you covered.
She's a great coach, but she's also a snazzy dresser, like a show hall girl. I wonder what her outfit will be tomorrow.
Oh, she's going to be dressing to the nines tomorrow night.
Yes, she is.
You know she hates Texas, dating back to her time at Baylor. And
is that when she used to own Texas?
Yeah, for a long time she owned. And obviously, again, nationally televised, big game, top 10 matchup. She pulls out all the stops.
Yes, she does.
For games like this. So if you want to see that in person, Centex Tickets has you covered. Tickets for every Texas women's game, every Texas men's game. Softball gets going later this week. Baseball gets going next week. If you want to watch the Longhorns in the winter and spring sports, only one place you need to go to get your tickets. That is centextickets.com. Plus, they already have some SEC tournament tickets. If you want to go watch the Longhorn men or the Longhorn women in the conference tournament in March, they have you covered there. And it's not just sports. It's concerts. It's Broadway shows. It's comedy shows. It's festivals.
It's NASCAR coming to Coda.
NASCAR coming to Coda when that happens. Obviously, F1 in the fall. They got everything. CentexTickets.com. And don't forget the promo code CENTEX10. You type that in at checkout. You're going to get 10% off of any ticket purchase from our friends at CentexTickets.com.
You know, Coach, Kim Mulkey has lately been doing the short hair thing. She may come with extensions tonight. We may see
the game's tomorrow night, so
yeah, tomorrow, Thursday night. I'm thinking maybe some extensions for her.
Maybe she's getting the extensions today, and then
she's going to be something flowing tomorrow.
Okay, interesting call. What about the outfit? I feel like her hair is pretty consistent. It's just the fit.
It's been short lately. It's been short. I mean, I got to see some long extensions tomorrow.
Okay. What about the outfit, though? What are we thinking? Like the tiger on the back of the blazer? Are we thinking tie-dye?
That was played out. That's for her home events. She don't want to put that on the road, does she?
Are we thinking pink? Are we thinking gold? Are we thinking white?
There'll be a lot of gold in this.
Okay. You're the expert. This is your crush. I was hoping you'd have like a scouting report instead of just speculation here.
Yeah, there'll be a flashy jacket. There may be some feathers involved.
Oh,
yeah.
Now that's a prediction right there. I like
there
that.
You go. Feathers, yes.
Feathery, fiery Kim Mulkey.
Yes.
Against Vic Schaefer tomorrow night. Would like to get some revenge from that earlier loss. And look, Texas in the swing of things for an SEC title. The Longhorns currently a number 1 seed, according to Charlie Cream, who is the women's bracketologist over at ESPN. So they're in a good spot, and a win tomorrow would obviously help them stay there. We'll see if that happens. All right. But college football, they just can't get out of their own way. They continue to make moves that everybody hates. It feels like it's tough for every sports fan to agree on something or disagree on something, right? There's so many different teams and players and opinions. It's like it's very rare where there's a consensus take on anything in the sports world. But it feels like fans coaches, players, administrators, everybody agrees that college football got this one wrong. So they announced the dates for the 2026 and 2027 college football playoffs. And, you know, we've talked about this. So many people have complained that the season drags on too long.
Oh, boy.
So what did college football decide to do? How about drag the season on even longer?
We'll get to March Madness eventually.
I'm telling you, man. So here's the screen share of some dates. The biggest change from the format that we just saw to what we're going to see for the next 2 years, there will now be 2 weeks between quarterfinal and semifinal games.
Wow.
So everybody is going to get a bye. Obviously, the teams who, get the first round bye, they're going to have a bunch of time off between their last regular season or conference championship game and their first game in the CFP. But now the teams that do play in round one will get an additional bye week before they have to play another game.
I don't know if that's good.
It's definitely not good. It's ridiculous. And the college football national championship game this year was held on January 20th. Next year it'll be on, and that's already, January 19th. And it's already like, God, does it need to be that late here? Next year, the national title game will be played on January 25th.
Man.
Even longer. So it's not like they're adding more games. They didn't expand to the playoff. We're sticking with 12 teams, still a 12-game regular season, conference championships. All that is staying the exact same. They just said, no, you know what? Our playoff happens too fast. Let's go ahead and slow this thing down and drag it out even more because that's what the people want.
No, that's not what we want.
The first game is December 18th. The championship is January 25th. That is 38 days to conduct a 12-team playoff.
Wow.
For reference, the NFL has 14 teams in its postseason every year. Their playoffs take 29 days to complete. So it's a longer postseason, more teams involved, and yet it takes them 9 fewer days.
What happens when they get to 16 teams?
Well, you might be right. They could be playing until Selection Sunday.
God.
Why not? Yeah, unveil the brackets around lunchtime, and then let's have the national championship game that night.
Wow.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Nobody asked for this. Matter of fact, everybody was asking for the exact opposite of this, Buck.
All these buys, all this stuff. Teams actually, it's okay if you got players that are hurt that are going to come back. But my God, teams want to keep playing. They don't want all this time off.
Well, I think the worst part of it, I mean, you might be right on that. But again, there's been all of this complaining about the college football calendar in the portal, right? Like, oh, you've got to get all of these portalers enrolled in school by a certain time, but yet there are still teams playing for semifinals and national championships.
You're right.
And yet everybody else who's not playing anymore can already add players from the portal. And shoot, it was a big storyline this year. It's been a big storyline the last few years. There have been players on playoff teams who have left during a playoff run because they want to make sure they have a spot to play the following season.
You're right.
They know if they wait for everybody else to find a home out of the portal that they're not going to be able to get as many offers or as much NIL money as everybody else. So it's like we need to shorten the playoff or just move everything up a little bit to try to prevent that. And instead it's no, now more teams are going to have to deal with these issues instead of just a couple.
I mean, are we screwing with the August calendar? I mean, are we playing a lot of games in August, college football? Or are we back still doing September game mostly?
Well, there will be week 0 in August, but week 1, obviously Texas's first game, and the first game for the majority of college football teams is Saturday, September 5th. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't understand. The coaches hate this. The players hate this. The administrators hate this. Everybody has been asking for the exact opposite of this. And it's not like, I mean, it would have been bad if they just didn't change it, but they did change it. They just changed it to something that sucks even more.
I don't know why you do this. I mean, there's got to be some. I'm trying to find out what the benefit is. I mean, the only benefit I see is that your team is, well, they're going to get tired. You're trying to let the players rest a little bit. If guys are hurt, you got them for, the playoff stretch. Maybe an extra week does it. I don't know. I would just rather keep on playing. Let's go. Let's get it over with. You get to that point, it's not like, oh no, I need another week of rest. No, I need to play next week. I need to play the next week, and then I need to keep going. I need to string them together. I don't need to try to get a week's rest. I'm in a routine. I want to keep playing.
Right.
I don't need not to play for 3 weeks.
It's crazy. Full 2 weeks in between games. And also of note, there will not be a New Year's Eve college football game this year. That's because New Year's Eve falls on a Thursday, and the NFL likes to play on Thursdays. And college football knows better than that.
Yes.
So we'll have playoff games on the 30th, or at least one playoff game on the 30th, and then the rest of the games will be on January 1st, New Year's Day, the way that they typically are.
Yeah, it's about some cash here. They wouldn't do it unless they're going to get more money for something.
I mean, I guess I don't know. It's the same number of games. I don't know how you're getting more money.
Yeah, and you're not keeping people's interest.
That's what they're going to argue is like, well, it's just the season's longer, so more people will be paying attention to college football later into January than they were before. And it's like, this is where the NFL does such a good job. They own the sports calendar. They have something big happening pretty much every single month of the year, right? Even in the offseason, you go from the Super Bowl in February to the Combine in March to the draft in April to, obviously, you got free agency in March as well. Then you got OTAs and mini camp and training camp. And then, boom, the season is here before you know it. College football, it's like, let's just put everything we have in January. It's going to annoy the heck out of coaches. It's not going to grow our sports. And let's just do it anyways instead of trying to separate it to keep 12 months worth of interest. I never get it. It's because there's nobody making these. So you talk about the almighty dollar. I feel like there are so many ways that college football is missing out on making more money by literally jam-packing everything into this.
Yes, you're right. January.
Yeah.
December and January.
Exactly. I just don't understand it. And again, it's not like just me. It's everybody out there, fans and coaches and schools alike. It feels like nobody wanted this to happen, and yet here it is.
And do we get any more games that'll be on college campuses to make money for the city that it's in or for the campus that it's on?
No, not yet.
We're going to still be heading out to Atlanta and places like that.
Yep. Same bit. Same, it's the rotation of all of those quarterfinal and semifinal spots. So that's going to continue.
So the people that buy the tickets that make the trips are still going to have to take these trips.
That may be the worst part of the college football playoff staying at 12, and I'm fine with it staying at 12. Again, if they wanted to go down a couple of teams, I'd be okay with that too. But yeah, because they didn't change the format and expand to 14 or 16 teams like had been discussed for a long time, there's no changes to the location sites. So your quarterfinals will be Fiesta Bowl, Cotton Bowl, Peach Bowl, and Rose Bowl. And then the semifinal games will be the Orange Bowl and the Sugar Bowl. And then the national title, January 25th. Hopefully Texas is there. That will be played in Vegas, baby.
Yeah, baby.
So we're hoping to be there. But yeah, you're right. That's another issue that I think those games don't even always sell out. Right? I mean, when Texas played Arizona State in Atlanta in the quarterfinals last year, that game wasn't a sellout. It's a freaking playoff game. It's like you put that game because of the crappy rules that we had. It would have been a road game for Texas. It would have been in Tempe, but what an atmosphere that would have been.
Yes, absolutely.
About selling tickets to that one. It's an easy sellout. I mean, we saw the Clemson game, right? The home playoff
that was
game.
Awesome. That was an awesome on campus in December. That was crazy.
Yeah, one of the best environments ever at DKR Texas Memorial Stadium. And no, apparently we don't want that. We don't want more of that. Why would we want something as cool as that? So I can't figure it out. College football, we love it, and it's growing in popularity, but they are just missing out on so much. And it's because the people who are calling the shots have absolutely no idea what they're doing.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So we'll see if we get a commissioner or anything.
Yeah, well, as they're getting closer and closer to when the Super Bowl is, the NFL is going to win out on that deal. They're going to have to. They can't get too close to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I also I don't love that they play the national championship game on Monday either. Like college football is a Saturday sport.
Yes.
They don't. NFL is a Sunday sport. They don't put the Super Bowl on a Tuesday.
No.
It's like, no, we play our biggest game on the day where most of our games are played throughout the year. There's hardly any college football
as having Monday off somehow.
Right. Well, I mean, it's MLK Day typically. I don't know if that will be the case next year. Actually, it might be the week after. But it's like, why don't we put this on a freaking Saturday? Like Saturday night is bad for TV watching. That everyone's watching TV on Saturday night.
You're right.
So it's just you got to put us in charge, Buck.
Let's get that. Let's get that done.
It's my request. All
Get
right.
Nick Saban out of verbos and let's get going. Let's get him going here.
Well, if Nick Saban's in charge, he's going to put every game on Alabama's campus. Bama's going to be the 1 seed every year, and we're going to play all these games in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, how about that?
It's going to work. So, whether it's a commissioner or a couple of guys in charge, something better than the NC2A. I don't think that's a very low bar to clear, and I don't think that's a crazy ask by me. And that's why a lot of people have spent a lot of time talking about the SEC and the Big Ten, or just the Power Four conferences in general, breaking away and doing their own thing and just starting their own league, basically, that has no ties to the NC2A. And I don't think that would be the worst thing in the world, but I don't know if everyone's going to agree to that.
No, we're going to lose our academics, so I'm sorry about that.
They're still going to college. I mean, they're still
they're going. Yeah,
athletes.
People can go to college,
right? So where would that go? Like, that wouldn't have to go away.
No, they wouldn't go to class. They're all going to class.
Do they go to class now? I don't think it's going to be any less or more than what it is now.
NCAA will have to keep their hands in this for a while to pretend they like academics. And we want to talk about the academics at these universities.
Well, that's why they have to break away from the NCAA. The NCAA is not going to be like, yeah, we don't want college football anymore. No thanks. We're good on all that money. It's got to be Greg Sankey and Tony Petitti and Brett Yormark, everyone's favorite. And whoever's running the ACC now, Phillips, I think it's still Jim Phillips. Those guys are going to have to get together and just agree to do something for that to happen.
For sure. You're right. I
don't know. All right. What's on your mind today, Buck? What's top of mind for you here? What you got?
I'm starting to get that, by today and tomorrow, I'll start thinking about Super Bowl picks. And I think we have Lee on tomorrow.
Yep.
Which will be good. I'm feeling Seattle more and more. I'm feeling like all the good things that Drake May has done this year, even being involved in the MVP, which I think Matt Stafford will end up winning the MVP. The year that Stafford had was just so huge that I just don't think he has enough weapons offensively to get it done when it comes to wide receivers against Seattle and this defense. I think Seattle wins pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting for the Patriots offense to do something in the playoffs. They have not been good. Drake May has not been good at all in the postseason. Now, they haven't needed it. They found ways to win games, and their defense has obviously been playing at a high level. Of course, you got to throw in the weather factor in their last 2 games, maybe causing some of these struggles for them offensively. But I don't know if you can win if your offense isn't clicking against a team.
Yeah, on a dry field, just the perfect situation, perfect weather. I just think Seattle's just too physical a team. I'm not saying the Patriots are not physical because I think they have a really physical defense. I just think their offense is just kind of, they're still not, they've got some guys make some good catches here or there, but I don't think they have enough offense.
We just haven't seen it.
Yeah. No,
we haven't seen it yet in these playoffs.
We haven't seen it. I mean, even at the end of the season, they just kind of cruised through. They didn't really crush anybody. Seattle's just crushing everybody they come in contact with.
Well, I mean, the last game they played was not a crushing by any stretch. That came down to the final minute.
Well, I mean, if you look at the end of the season and the way they played through the season, what they were doing to teams when they got a hold of just so teams, they destroyed them.
Yeah. I mean, the Seahawks, I think, are a more complete team. And look, for the Patriots, I mean, you're not going up against Jarrett Stidham here. You're not going up against C.J. Stroud and whatever that was. And I'm not going to try to make it sound like Sam Darnold is Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Tom Brady or somebody like that, but he's playing some really, really good football. And it's going to be a step up and just overall offensive talent, obviously, with the way Kenneth Walker's been running the football, with the receivers Seattle has on the outside. I mean, it's just a more complete team than they've seen.
And didn't you think the NFC was just better this year?
I think you can make the case. Yeah.
It just seemed like a more physical brand of football.
Well, there are a lot of surprise teams in the AFC. I mean, we've gotten so used to seeing Kansas City and Cincinnati and Baltimore, right, kind of running the AFC. None of those teams even made the playoff this year. You know, Buffalo got in, but they were a 6th seed this year. So it's like, I don't know how many people really bought into Denver being that great, or Jacksonville being that great, or the Chargers. I mean, it's for some people, it's the Patriots, right? They've been so bad the last 2 years, 4-13, that it's like, I don't know if people are fully bought in on them being a legit Super Bowl contender. And here they are, they're playing in the Super Bowl. So obviously they were, but yeah, it's just, we've gotten so, in the NFC, it was a lot of the same teams. I know Seattle's a little new, but the Rams were there. The 49ers were there. The Eagles were there. A lot of the Packers were in the playoffs. Sort of the usual suspects that we've just seen be consistently good a lot lately. And then in the AFC, it was like, oh, here's a bunch of new teams, and we're not quite sure, like, are these guys flukes, or do they really have something here?
Yeah, I just, like I said, I'm feeling good about Seattle early in the week. But this won't be as close as this will be a double-digit win for them.
Double-digit win.
Yeah.
Man, I need a unit play from you by the end of the week.
Yeah, I'll have a big unit play on this.
I'm going to double check. I believe right now you're up 200,000 units for the people.
Yes. Yeah, and for the people, I give them something to go home with for the season. I'll give them something to go home with for this season too. I'm just that good.
You're allowed to do prop bets. You can do the total. You know, I have Lee Sterling on for Paramount Sports tomorrow. Talk about the over-under for the national anthem. It's usually a free win. He usually has some good scouting on that. Some inside sources on that deal. Gatorade colors. I mean, we'll have all the great prop bets.
Nice.
So looking forward to it. All right, let's shift gears here. Jordan Scruggs from Horns 24/7 will join us in a moment to talk about Elijah Ali and the other members of the Texas 2026 National Signing Day class. But before we do that, how about another round of sponsor shout-outs?
Well, hello to our good friends over at Woods Comfort Systems. Today, another beautiful day here in Central Texas and in this Austin and surrounding area. It's going to be kind of warm today again. Yesterday was really nice, and the sun wasn't even shining. But you want to make sure that your air conditioning is working properly, because if it jacks up to 75 all of a sudden, you're going to want that air coming on. You don't want that heater blasting on. But once again, we're not out of the woods yet. I did not call for winter. You know, I'm not like Punxsutawney Phil, but I did not call for winter to end for us either. I think we're going to have some cooler days, and you want to make sure your heater's working properly. And our friends over at Woods Comfort Systems will make sure of both heater and air conditioning working properly. And now they do plumbing. Trust them also to your indoor and outdoor plumbing. Close to 70 years in Central Texas. Woods Comfort Systems, nobody does it better.
WoodsComfortSystems.com, 512-842-5066 is their phone number to call. Also, a shout out to the Hecht Law Firm. Ryan Hurricane Hecht, your go-to, my go-to, everybody's personal injury attorney here in Central Texas. He's been a good personal friend of mine for more than a decade, and he's been fighting for justice and big results in Central Texas for a decade as well. So if you or somebody you know gets hurt in a car wreck, an 18-wheeler accident, hurt on the job, a slip and fall, anything like that, you have to reach out to the best. That's Ryan Hurricane Hecht. Don't call the jabronis you see on TV. You're not going to get to work with them. Why? Well, they're filming podcasts with little girls. They're standing on top of cars. They're doing weird stuff. You don't want that. You want somebody who's going to be there for you and with you every step of the way. That's what Hurricane Hecht is all about. Hopefully you never need him, but if you ever do, maybe a good idea to have his number in your phone, 512-938-8929. You can find out more at his website, hechtlawfirm.com. That's HECHT lawfirm.com.
And
All
of course,
right.
Hat Creek Burger Company, our good friends over at Hat Creek Burger Company. I got to have my chili before I played golf yesterday, which I was a little worried how that would work for my belly there. It worked out just fine. Chili, cheese, and onions, great at Hat Creek Burger. And don't forget, some locations, folks, do serve breakfast. Breakfast tacos are available for you. Also, pancakes there. Find out the location near you. Love Hat Creek Burger.
That is a dangerous thing to eat before playing a 4-hour round of golf, sir.
Yeah, it was okay. It was. I'm telling you, it's just that chili is just mild enough, and we get that cheese and that onions with it. It was okay. Plus, I do mix some crackers in there. I crunch up some crackers.
Oh,
It's like a big meal. It was great.
I
Nothing
love
like that at 11:30 in the morning. Slamming down a large chili.
Apologies to whoever had to clean up the bathroom at whatever golf course you were playing at
Oh man, it
yesterday.
was fantastic.
That can't be good. All right, joining us now, a face, a name, a voice that this audience knows incredibly well. Rocking an old Texas Sports Unfiltered hat, now vintage nowadays. The great Jordan Scruggs, recruiting guru over at horns247.com. Jordan, it's good to see you, man. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good to see y'all. Still rocking the hat, still getting used to not having my entire day built around a 10 to 11 show. So yeah, but happy to be back, happy to see y'all again, and bit of a recruiting holiday. Not really anymore. It's a pretty slow day. Texas only signed one kid.
What?
But yeah, signing day.
You've got to talk Bucky off the ledge because Buck's old school, right? He was coaching back in the 80s and 90s. He's 70 years old, so he's used to this first Wednesday in February being the biggest day on the recruiting calendar. I think I saw it, Jordan. Only one of the top 200 players in the country went unsigned after the December signing period. I mean, does this day have any juice in your business anymore?
No, not at all. And that one player in the top 247 that is unsigned is a kid that Texas dropped, Dylan Behrman. So yeah, there's little to no juice. I mean, once I think it was 2018, 2019, somewhere around there, the NCAA passed it where you can sign early, then enroll early, go through spring ball. And I mean, that's a huge advantage for young guys to have, for the staff to have, for everyone to have. So since that became a thing, I mean, it's kind of taken all the juice out of February signing day. And there will still be a few late risers.
There you go.
But very few that are going to be Texas level. And in fact, the kid they signed today is only the second prospect Texas has signed in February, outside of year one of the Sark era, where they were getting like a few guys in late. And the last person that signed on February signing day was Warren Roberson in 2023, who actually flipped from TCU to Texas that day, despite TCU going to the national championship the month before.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I mean, I'm just thinking, Jordan, somebody owes somebody a favor out there, and you've got scholarships available to you. I know you like to save some money if you can, but I would think there would be somebody Central Texas that Texas may need to just bring in at a position. I mean, not really a position of need, but a position of depth maybe to help out. Somebody owes somebody something. That's not going to happen, you think, today?
No. I mean, to be honest, the kid they did sign today, it's a defensive lineman from California. You pull up his huddle. He's been at 5 different high schools. And the only 4 other offers he posted besides Texas was Sacramento State, San Diego State, Temple, and Delaware State. And those were all offers that were extended to him over a year ago. So
diamond in the rough, brother.
Yes, to some degree, yes.
Yes.
Nothing against the kid. I wish the best for him. It's an amazing opportunity for him. I don't know where he would have ended up had Texas not offered him late. But, I mean, my thought process was, hey, this kid existed at Lake Travis. His name was Ben Duncan. And he's a long-term developmental guy. He's not going to be able to play for a few years at Kentucky, but he would have signed at Texas and played at Texas for free, just like the kid from California is going to end up doing.
Well, Ben's dad went to Texas.
Yeah, and his uncle also played ball at Texas as well. So that was a kid I was banging on the table a lot throughout the process, especially Carter Buck. I think it's kind of blasphemous. Texas had him on campus once and never really recruited him. Led 6A in sacks this year.
Yeah, he got big and he got physical and he got quick twitch all of a sudden, and he was a monster. I got to watch both of those guys on both sides, on bookends on that defense, which made Lake Travis defensively, it was tough to get outside, and it was tough to one-on-one block those two dudes. And I was pretty surprised that neither one of them ended up at Texas at all.
Yeah, I mean, Carter Buck, I think he's up there with Colton Vosick, Ethan Burke, as far as prospects out of high school. Buck isn't as long as those guys. He either has like a plus half an inch wingspan, something really small like that.
Right.
He produces. He shows up. He's twitchy. He's good change of direction. He's not as stiff as Vosick or Burke were out of high school. But also part of what made Burke so attractive was the fact that he was a lacrosse kid transitioning into football.
Sure.
And played football for a few years. But
sure. Let me ask you this about the kid that's coming. Speaking of Lake Travis, the kid that went away and now is coming back, Marcus Boswell. I mean, when I watched him play in high school, I always thought he was that tweener guy, you know, that you talk about. Can he be a safety? I mean, I know he can hit physically, but now he's grown into that. And in 1 year, he's grown into a solid linebacker prospect coming to Texas, you know, switching over and coming. I mean, he can get bigger, but boy, does he like to hit. I've seen him knock himself out before on the field.
Yeah. I've known about Marcus for a long time. I don't know, Bucky, if you know this. I actually grew up in Lake Travis, went to Lake Travis, so I know all those kids pretty well. And with Marcus, one thing that really helped him that I don't think many folks realize, he went to a year of prep school between Lake Travis and Akron. And he was up in the Northeast, did a year of prep school, and then after 1 year there, chose Akron over an offer from UMass, and then rotated in, played a bit at Akron this year. He's a depth add, might even redshirt this year. I kind of doubt it based off the numbers, but he has 4 years left to play 3 seasons. So a redshirt, if there's any time to do it, it'd be this year. But I mean, hey, he's bringing depth this year. Could eventually
he'll show up on special teams because he can run and he can hit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, B.O. Lance Jason.
Yeah, a lot of love coming in the comments. And hey, we're hoping to make this a weekly segment too with Jordan talking Texas recruiting. So this is not a one-off here. Obviously love Jordan and grateful for the work that he did on TSU, but man, he's still the best recruiting guy in the biz for my money. So we're going to make this a consistent thing. So y'all make sure you've got your jokes and your weird comments for Jordan ready. I know y'all always had them during the Lone Star playbook, so be ready for that. Jordan, obviously most of these guys in this 26 class signed in December, so you've been talking about them for a while, but this feels like a good day to kind of refresh people on what Texas was able to pull off a couple of months ago. I mean, I'd love to get your thoughts on maybe 2 or 3 of your favorite signees for Texas in this 2026 cycle.
Yeah, the first one, I can't say enough good things about, Jermaine Bishop. I'm going to name off 4 names for y'all, all right? Jordan Shipley, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jared Reagan, Marvin Mims. Those are the only guys that caught or that had more receiving yards in Texas high school football history than Jermaine Bishop did.
Wow.
He finishes as the all-time leader in receiving yards, reception touchdowns in the greater Houston area. And he's the only player on the top 10 list for receiving yards that played 6A ball besides Jackson Smith and Jigba, who led the NFL in basically every single receiving statistic this year. So that kind of puts it in perspective how dynamic he is, especially because 3 out of those 4 names I just mentioned were 4-year starters at the high school level at receiver. Jermaine Bishop caught 1 pass for 2 yards as a freshman. He was on varsity as a freshman, but only played corner. So all that production is only from 3 years. If he was a 4-year starter at receiver like he was at corner, he would probably finish as the all-time leader. One Dave Campbell's Mr. Texas Football Player of the Year this year. He's the 4th Texas Longhorn to win that. The others are Garrett Gilbert, Jonathan Brooks, and Jonathan Gray. So not bad company there. And, I mean, just a terrific prospect. He's 5'10", 155 pounds. He's never going to wow you physically. But he is – you know, every year I feel like you come across these guys that are just so good at everything in football. It's like God reached down and said, hey, you're going to play football and you're going to be special. I mean, this kid averaged nearly 41 yards a punt as a senior and had never punted before. And at Willis, he had a fantastic head coach, Trent Miller. Before Willis, he was at Spring High for a long time, and Spring has kind of fallen off since he left. But Miller was super creative with him. Like, yes, Bishop played with DJ Lagway as a freshman and a sophomore. That certainly helped. But his production went up every single year on offense and on defense. He was the leader of the team as a junior and as a senior. and was named first team all district 4 years in a row, was unanimous district MVP 2 years in a row. Just God-given talent. And the nephew of former Kansas State quarterback Michael Bishop, the Heisman finalist from, I think, 1998. So he's got the bloodlines too, and just tremendously gifted. He's going to start at receiver for Texas this year. I'm not saying he's going to start in the lineup, but he can play either side. He was recruited to play either side, can end up playing either side. But right now he will begin his Texas career with the receiver group. Could end up playing some corner down the road. I'd expect it. I think he's good enough. And it's pretty interesting because he's always been called kind of the Travis Hunter of Texas. And by no means am I calling him Travis Hunter, but he's the closest thing I've ever seen to Travis Hunter, the closest thing anyone will ever see to Travis Hunter. And
yeah, I mean, is he physical enough, Jordan, that probably after a year that 155 can be close to 170? Is that what they'd be looking for defensively from him? Because who cares offensively? He can be 140 pounds offensively, and you can't catch up to him. But as a defensive back, a guy who has to come up and support the run, I mean, is he? I mean, if he's an athlete, he'll throw his body in there at 155. But that's probably not suited to play cornerback, is it?
I mean, he's a striker. He will strike you. He will take you off your feet. He's super physical. He plays a much bigger than his listed size. Mm-hmm. Can he get up to 170? Probably, yeah, in a few years, but not the biggest guy. Doesn't have a ton of frame space. He's shorter than Travis Hunter, not as long. But I also do think if he's going to play corner, it's only going to be a few snaps here and there.
Sure.
An interesting thing from his recruitment, the schools for him were Texas, Texas A&M, Houston, and USC. USC, Lincoln Riley told him slot receiver only. You're not playing defense. Texas A&M told him you can play whatever. We just want you. And then Houston pitched him on, hey, what Travis Hunter did at Colorado, you're going to do here. So Texas had a really interesting pitch with Steve Sarkisian because of those four coaches or four head coaches, whatever you want to call it, he's the only one who ever actually had a two-way player. That was Adoree Jackson, who was primarily a corner but played some receiver. And Jermaine Bishop is probably going to be the opposite of that, primarily a receiver that plays some corner. They're not going to stick him in at punt or kick return with Ryan Niblett around. But once Niblett graduates, that should be Bishop's spot. I mean, he has like 8 or 9 career non-offensive touchdowns, and 5 of those are pick sixes. So I can't say enough good things about him. I mean, I could spend the whole show talking about Jermaine Bishop because he's that special. I like him that much, and he is the highest ranked prospect in Texas's class. Another guy I like a lot, Jamarian Carlton out of Temple, somewhat of a local kid in Centex. He was committed to Baylor for some time, but ended up flipping to Texas the day after Texas knocked off Texas A&M on Black Friday. So very intriguing kid, bit of a tweener between an edge and defensive lineman. He's 6'4", about 260, 265, or he's actually 6'4" and a half, and he has a 7-foot wingspan. Absolute freak show. He's been Temple's best basketball player 4 years in a row. Was a varsity starter for basketball for 4 years, for football 3 years. Didn't produce a ton. He played in a 3-down front at Temple, and he was double-teamed like at pretty much every snap he ever played in high school. But at the All-American game in San Antonio, he's been there the last 2 years. He's been one of the best players there and has somehow produced more there than when he has in high school. It's kind of interesting, but I like him. He has God-given traits, God-given tools. Very few kids each cycle have the measurements and athletic data he has. And on top of that, I mean, he's a super tough kid. He's a blue-collar kid. Mom works in the post office in Temple. He played through a partially torn labrum as a senior. Like, you tell him to jump, he asks how high. Very coachable kid, great mental eval. He wasn't valedictorian or anything like that, but he was close to the top of his class academically. And has literally everything you want in a future NFL player. The only thing that will prevent him from getting to the NFL is injuries because he has the work ethic, the between the ears, the measurements, all that. So I'm excited about him. It's going to take him some time. He's going to have to adjust to the college level. And he is about 265, 270 right now. With the frame space, I mean, he could easily hold over 300 pounds in about 2-3 years from now. So he'll be fascinating to track. And then last but not least, Tyler Atkinson did not finish as a 5-star. which our board isn't very happy about that. But hey, I don't make the rankings, so it's not on me. But with Atkinson, he's the most ready to play linebacker in the 2026 class. 4-year starter at one of the top programs in the state of Georgia at Grayson. Chose Texas over Oregon, Georgia, and I mean, you name it, everyone in the country wanted him. And he's going to play a lot early. In fact, out of all the freshmen they signed, or 2026 kids they signed, he's by far and away the favorite to play the most snaps. Just based off numbers and the need of the position, he's going to be in the 2 deep. And I do think he will finish year 1 with a higher snap count than even Anthony Hill had. So, or than Anthony Hill had in year 1 is what I should say.
Yeah.
But with Atkinson, he can do it all. Not the biggest guy by any means. I mean, we have him listed at 6'2", 210, and he does look kind of small compared to other linebackers you traditionally see in the SEC. But he's really smart. He's all about ball. He's about the grind. Watches a ton of tape. I believe he had all 4 years of high school, over 100 tackles, and just a really smart player. Super athletic too. So I like him a lot. I like those 3 a lot. But, I mean, top to bottom, it's a really good class. I'd say they did a pretty good job filling needs, not an amazing job, but a pretty good job. And they also have a good balance of, you know, the Tyler Atkinson types that you're paying a ton and kind of have to play right away because of that, and because they need him to play right away. And you have a good balance of the guys that are really cheap, making less than $50K a year 1, year 2, and they can't play till year 3. But if you hit on them as a developmental prospect, it's tremendous value. So they have a really good balance of all that. It is the number 7 ranked class in the country. That's the lowest finish under Steve Sarkisian at Texas, and it's the lowest finish Texas has had in a recruiting class since Tom Herman's 2021 class, which finished number 15, and they signed with Texas December of 2020. The following month, head coach is fired. So, that's the group.
There you go. All right, last one for me, Jordan. We'll ask you about some of the other 2026 kids in future weeks, because I definitely want to get your thoughts on Derek Cooper at some point in the offseason. But Cade Hogg, the most recent commit for Texas for the class of 2027. You know, Will Muschamp's been on a bit of a roll, 2 defensive pickups in the span of a week. The Longhorns, though, getting a linebacker out of the Kingwood area. Your thoughts on that commitment and what he could bring to the 40 acres?
Yeah, I'm still hoping to find out some more info on him. I haven't been able to watch all of his junior tape or specific games yet, but he plays in the best district in Texas. I know everyone was hyping up Duncanville, DeSoto in that district, as they rightfully should, but North Shore, Atascocita, C.E. King, and Summer Creek in one district is unfair. Like, all 4 of those teams have a legit shot to go to state and win it every year, and Kingwood doesn't even get to sniff the playoffs because of it. But with Cade Hogg, he's a good Mike backer. He's an inside backer. He hasn't hit sub 11. He's not going to test off the charts, but he's run low 11s. And is kind of a new age backer. I mean, I feel like most of these kids in the state of Texas end up getting stuck rushing the passer, because you can be much more impactful as an edge rusher than a linebacker if you're a D1 player, at least at the high school level. But with Hogg, he's got experience playing linebacker, off ball, in the box as a Mike. I like that. I like the fact that he's on track. And then also his teammate, Kennedy Brown, is a 5-star offensive tackle in the same class. Texas, I'd say Texas isn't as high on him as his ranking. But if he called right now, wanted to commit, they'd take him. They're recruiting him. And having one of his teammates and close friends as a commit doesn't hurt at all. So with Cade Hogg, I like it. The thing, too, that the way you always have to view these early commitments in a cycle, when kids aren't signing till December, but they're committing the fall before that or the January, 12 months before that, usually it's because Texas can kind of squeeze those guys and say, hey, you know, by the end of the spring, you might not have this offer anymore. If you want to come here, you can do it now. It'll help them. It makes the rest of the class, recruiting the rest of the class, easier. You have a better idea of the specific body types, athletes you need after you get certain commits in. And also, it kind of helps you set the floor. He's a floor-setting take. Texas is going to need to sign 3 or 4 linebackers this class in 2027. He's the first one in the boat, and if that's the guy you set the floor with, you're going to have a pretty damn good class. So sure. I like the addition. And, I mean, Greedy James, Carnell James, the corner, Texas is going to need a big corner class. He's also the floor-setting take there. So I like the early 27 group. They have 4 commits. and it should finish as a higher ranked class in the 2026 group, which finished number 7. So
there we
so
go.
yeah.
All right, I lied. Oh, you got something, Buck?
Yeah, I just want to ask him about, but once again, about Bishop. You know, in a receiver room filled with really good quality receivers, is Sark going to have? Is this going to be the kid that gets that real opportunity and gets a chance to touch the football? You know, we saw that class of last year with all these great receivers, the so great receivers that didn't shine enough, obviously, or were good to just, you know, they have that special group of receivers, like 2 or 3 of them that they just like, and Sark stays with them. Is this a kid that you expect to see on the football field as a freshman?
Yeah, so a lot of people have asked me this because it is a great question. The only 2 freshman receivers that have really played under Steve Sarkisian, Xavier Worthy, and then Ryan Wingo in 2024. I think he's going to have a role similar to Wingo, where he's kind of used as a gadget, not used as much as a gadget as Wingo was, but he's on the field, but isn't a starter like Worthy was. So,
Right.
I mean, seeing him play as a senior last year, I went to several of his games, and each one I was like, he should start at Texas right now. He can help Texas right now. This is better than what Texas is getting. And I still think that's the case. He's not going to start over Emmett Mosley. And Bishop being 5'10", 155 pounds, at least early on, and even probably even in college and in the NFL, if he's going to play receiver, it has to be in the slot. So really big spring for Dalen McCutcheon because Jermaine Bishop could leapfrog him as the number 2 slot. And if you're McCutcheon, you're stuck behind a guy who's a year younger than you. When are you going to play? So
yeah, I mean, does he have consistent hands? Is he that athlete that's not going to drop a ball? I mean, if it hits him in the hands, he's just going to catch it.
Yeah. I mean, he's consistent. He's going to show up, and he has better stop and start ability, change of direction ability, 0 to 60 quickness than anyone on the roster. And I fully believe that as an 18-year-old kid that he's the twitchiest guy they have available.
He sounds like the kid that played at A&M last year that came through the portal. That's going to be a high draft pick, that wide receiver.
KC Concepcion?
Yeah, is he that kind of twitchy?
Yeah. I mean, obviously smaller, not as much weight on his bones, but
Sure.
but yeah, that is a good similarity. And people, I mean, I'm calling it right now. People are eventually going to comp his freshman year to what Malachi Toney did. I don't think he'll have the production Toney did. But I do think he's a better athlete than Toney is. Now, Toney played quarterback in high school as a senior because Diabell got hurt. They're at the same high school, and also grew up playing running back. And you can kind of see that in the way Toney plays. Whereas with Bishop, he's always been a receiver and corner and kind of just a slasher. I mean, he's so athletic. He's so special. And if you have time, just pull up his junior and senior highlight tape. It's frankly some of the wildest highlights I've ever seen in my job in this industry or in my time in the industry. So he can play year 1. He should play year 1. And if he's not playing by, like, I don't know, game 2 of conference play, I'm going to ask Chip or Eric to ask him in a press conference, why is Jermaine Bishop playing? Because he can help this team right now. He could have helped this team as a senior in high school. And he brings something different to the table that the rest of the receiver room doesn't have. So I'm so excited to see him. And I mean, that's the guy I'm more excited to see than anyone on the roster, just because of how his high school recruitment went and what he did at the high school level. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Quick one here. I lied because some guy named, what is that? Ronnie Rodriguez is commenting today.
Yeah, Ronnie.
Any thoughts, Jordan, on just the new districts, right? The districts. Okay, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that word. It's going to be bad. The new districts here, especially around Central Texas. Any big takeaways from what happened earlier in the week?
Yeah, I got to pull up. I took some photos of some of these districts. I was curious, and I got to pull it up, so I'm naming them right. First off, I love that Lake Travis and Westlake are playing the Round Rock schools. A lot of people are pissed about it that I've talked to. It's just like the first time in 40 years Westlake has been in a district with Round Rock schools, and the first time ever for Lake Travis. But I mean, like, Lake Travis and Westlake are going to run this district. Don't get it twisted. But these games are going to be more competitive than they have been in district the last few years. I fully believe that.
So like, Bowie gets a break, don't they? Finally.
Well, yeah, but like, if there was a way to bet money on Dripping Springs winning the district championship, however long they're in this, I'd be hammering it. And I do hate that Dripping Springs got split apart from Westlake and Drip after the 4 years they had together.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know this, but Dripping Springs and Lake Travis actually used to be each other's big rivals.
Yes, they were.
And so much so they had to play a different what do you call it? Different like neutral sites, because before either of those schools had turf, they would go mudding on each other's field like the week before the game. To screw it up.
And now it's nice because a bunch of games again for Lake Travis will be played over at Drip again until the stadium is all finished.
Is that not? It's not going to be done in time for this
first month. The first month it won't be ready for the first month of the season.
Wow.
Jeez, yeah. I talked to a few of the seniors from last year's team. Like, do you know how pissed I'd be if I had to play every game my senior season or every home game in Dripping Springs?
Oh yeah,
having to drive down Hamilton Pool Road. What do you call it?
Could have been COVID, I guess. So that's
but Dripping Springs, a district, Austin High, Aikens, Bowie, Hayes, Buda Johnson, Doe Valley, like that. How many teams? That's 6 bye weeks a year. So their 4 non-district games need to be tough. In Dallas, DeSoto is dropping down to 5A. They actually had 5A numbers last realignment, but opted to stay in 6A. They're now in a district with Burleson, Centennial, Cedar Hill, Cleburne, Lancaster, Mansfield Legacy, Mansfield Summit, Midlothian. They're going to dominate that district, and they're going to win 5A, the state championship, as long as they're in 6A. One district I think is nuts. This is the second realignment in a row they've done this. Beaumont, Westbrook, Port Arthur Memorial, Galveston Ball, and Lufkin are all in the same district.
Oh.
For the second realignment in a row. Lufkin is playing in district games with Galveston Ball and Port Arthur Memorial. Make that make sense.
They're all close together.
Like it has to be the most traveling in a district outside of the West Texas ones where the schools are hours apart from each other.
Oh, my God.
What are some other ones? Oh, District 12 is really fun in Centex. I like that one. You have College Station, you have A&M Consol, Georgetown, Killeen High, Killeen Shoemaker, Leander Glen, Pflugerville Connolly, Pflugerville Hendrickson, and Pflugerville Weiss. Should be Weiss's district to lose, but it'll be competitive. Those College Station schools always give them a hard time. And then Georgetown, I'm curious what they'll look like after losing Jet Walker. But yeah, those are the main Austin area ones that are kind of standing out. Last but not least, how about Austin OBJ finally being back in 481 for the first time in 4 years? I will go to my grave firmly believing that they win the state championship in 2022 if Austin ISD doesn't royally shaft them with the bus drivers. They had Cedric Alexander as a senior and went to state the year before and lost. Bernie ended up winning state in 2022 in 481, and that's the same Bernie team that lost by like 60 on Black Friday in 2021 in the third round of the playoffs, which was also the day after Jamal Fenner's son was shot and killed in East Austin. They still went out there and beat them by 60, and that's the team that won state the next year. So they should have a ring, and I think it's horrible that they don't, but excited to see their push forward again now that they're in 481.
That's great. Well, great stuff, Jordan. We're excited to chop it up with you every week. Thanks for the insight on the 26 class and the high school realignment and everything else, man. We really appreciate you joining us.
Last thing, Rodney says Vandergrift is going to cruise. I don't know about that one, champ.
Yeah.
Vandergrift, that district, I can't even remember who's in it, but they're now in Region 3. And what I think 99% of Lake Travis, Westlake, or Austin area Centex football fans fail to realize is how much of a cakewalk Region 4 is compared to all the other regions. All you have to do is go through San Antonio and Valley teams, and then you turn off the Xbox once it comes time to play North Shore in the semis.
Yeah.
That's just what happens. They're going to beat your ass. It happens every year.
Yeah,
but with Vandergrift, they now have to go into Region 3, where they're playing a Houston team round 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that'll be very interesting. Someone who had 2 stepbrothers that went to Vandergrift that were very adamant that Vandergrift is on the same level as Lake Travis and Westlake. I'm struggling to feel bad for them. So go Cavs.
They got their wish, didn't they?
Yes, they got their wish.
Man. Horns247.com. Y'all make sure to follow Jordan on Twitter at jscruggs247 as well. This was fun, man. We'll chop it up again next week.
Thanks, Jordan.
Yeah, thank y'all, and happy National Signing Day. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, baby. Now you're talking.
You too. There he goes, Jordan Scruggs. Again, the best recruiting guy in the biz. And obviously love Jordan from his time on TSU. And he's kind enough to give us some time to talk Texas recruiting every week on this show moving forward. But again, horns247.com. If you're not a member there, you should be. I've been one for a number of years. They do tremendous work, obviously, with Chip and Eric and Hank and Jordan and the entire squad. So go support them. And should be fun. Good. I mean, we were talking about Jermaine Bishop earlier before we had Jordan on, and I was telling you how excited I was about him. Now you get the expert take, Buck. I mean, Texas is getting a stud this coming season.
Find a way to get him on the field and get the ball under his arms. Please.
Yeah, it's interesting. Again, it's a loaded wide receiver room, and they added to it late with Sterling Burkhalter coming in from Wake Forest, and that's just another body in there that's going to make it tougher for Bishop to get significant playing time. But Xavier Worthy played a bunch as a freshman. Ryan Wingo played a decent amount as a true freshman. It feels like Steve Sarkisian is willing to make it happen, but it's not going to be easy with all of that talent that Texas has there.
It'll be that easy if he touches the ball his first or second time and he goes to the house 70 yards.
Spring practice.
It'll make it a
That's
lot
what
easier,
happens. Yeah, on day one. And I'm hoping, tonight is the annual town hall that CDC holds on campus.
Yep.
So I'm going to try to make it there, but I'm really hoping that whether it's me or somebody else, Chris Del Conte gets asked about the possibility of the orange-white scrimmage returning this spring.
Oh yeah, that game.
I'd really like to see that game back. And I want to see Arch Manning. I want to see Cam Coleman. I mean, I want to see everybody, but some of these freshmen, especially the Jermaine Bishops of the world, obviously this is our first chance to watch them in a Longhorn uniform. I would love to, some random weekend in the end of April, get to watch that guy play at DKR.
How about that?
That would be fun. All right, we'll get to that. There's a couple other things I think are interesting for CDC that he might have to answer tonight. Also, a wild story involving the Today Show's Savannah Guthrie. Have you heard about this one, Buck?
No.
We'll talk about that in a moment. But before we shift gears here, how about a few more sponsor shout-outs?
Folks, if you're seeking that specialized patient-focused orthopedic care, please contact our friends and the experts at Texas Orthopedics. Their physicians offer comprehensive surgical and non-surgical orthopedic care for children and adult, spinal care, sports medicine, joint replacement, rheumatology, and more. Dr. Danny, Dr. Stockton, dedicated orthopedic surgeons there, and their goal is to get you right back into good health and the great quality of life that you deserve. Texas Orthopedics is the largest independent orthopedic practice in the state of Texas. For more information, go to txortho.com.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Altstadt Beer as well. The best beer that you could find all throughout the great state of Texas. Of course, we're just 4 days away from Super Bowl Sunday. You're going to be having watch parties. You might just be watching the game by yourself. But look, it's the last football game that we have all season. You got to make sure you've got a great beer to accompany your final football watching of 2025, 2026. Altstadt Beer is that beer. It's my choice. Should be yours as well. You got to have the jabronis bring in their crappy casseroles and the 14-layer dips. It's like, no, that takes way too long to make, number one.
Just drink up.
And number two, nobody likes that stuff. You're going to end up taking 90% of it home because people took a bite because they wanted to be nice, and they're like, oh, that's not very good. Just bring the beer. Everyone's going to love you. You'll be the life of the party anytime you show up with Altstadt Beer, available all around Central Texas, but also in DFW and Houston as well. Perfect for any occasion. It's my choice. It should be yours as well. It's Altstadt Beer. No impurities, no regrets.
Sweet. Keep the dip at home, please.
Yeah, keep your dip at home. And don't put we're going to get to some Super Bowl pet peeves later in the week. And you're not a Super Bowl watch party guy, so you haven't experienced these.
Oh, but I know about the hand dipping guy who puts his hands in the dip and then puts it in his mouth, wipes it away, and then sticks his hand back in the dip again.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a bad bit. The double dipper, or the guy who licks his fingers and then goes back in. It's like, that's high up on my Super Bowl pet peeves.
It's the same one as picking the grapes at the grocery store, walking around eating them in the store, reaching in the bag with their hands and pulling a couple grapes out as they've touched the bag with their pea-stained hands. Oh.
I was going to say, it's fine if that's the grapes you're going to buy. You can eat the entire bag while you're walking around the store as long as that's the one that you check out with. But you can't be grabbing samples from all of the
Right.
grape bags and then just put them back.
I've done it before. I'm
You
not.
have?
Yeah, I've reached in and grabbed a grape out of a bag and gone. But most of the time when I've ever done that, BK, I take that. That's the same bag that I'm taking to the counter anyway.
Yeah, that's fine, but
Yeah.
it can't be just.
I don't mess around. I don't feel the fruit. I'm not touchy guy that wants to feel the cucumbers in there to make sure they're okay. You know, I don't, I just don't, I don't like touching fruit. And I know somebody else is going to touch it. I see people touch it and feel stuff. And then they put it back down. I'm like, that's nasty.
You don't like touching fruits, huh?
No. Now, I know once you get it back home, you got to wash it anyway.
All right. Well, surprising because I know you've been called a fruit before, so I'm surprised that you
fruit, yes.
Yeah, surprised you don't like that.
No, I don't like touching a lot of fruit. No.
That's good. That is good.
And I'm a grape eating fool. I'm a grape eater. I love eating grapes.
There you go. Well, the grape ape.
That could be me. I love it.
Didn't they call you that? Didn't you used to like watching that show back in the day?
I did watch that show.
I
watched the grape ape for sure.
I like that. All right. Shout out to Altstadt. Shout out to McCall Custom Homes as well. If you're looking to upgrade your home here in 2026, new kitchen, new bathroom, new live tier outdoor space, you get a putting green like the Buck. Yeah, they can do all of that for you. McCall Custom Homes, ATX.com for more information. These guys are A+ rated by the BBB. Tons of 5-star reviews online. Let them upgrade your space. Or if you want to start from scratch, they're custom home builders as well. Again, all you have to do is get in contact with them. They'll take care of the rest. McCall Custom Homes, ATX.com. Or you could call or text Mike McCall directly, 512-633-9580. Oh
yeah. And I've now been known to eat over the dip, though, dipping something and eating over that without a plate. I've done that before. I did that at my daughter-in-law's house. And she goes, "Are you eating without a plate over the stuff?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it looks to be that way, doesn't it?"
You can't do that.
No, that's gross too. It is.
We can't accept that.
That's not acceptable.
No. I mean, if you're at home, you can double dip all you want if it's just you eating it. But if you're out in public, you're at someone's house, you're at a restaurant, you cannot.
Yeah, but I'm with family members. They got to, family members are going to have to get sick from me.
He said daughter-in-law?
Yeah, I mean, I'm over there kind of, no, it's actually stepdaughter. What am I talking about? Stepdaughter. Okay. It's not daughter-in-law, it's stepdaughter. But she's got a big stuff with some cheese and stuff. And I just went in and dipped a little something, like grab a deviled egg or something and eat over the top without a plate. I've done it.
No, can't do
As if I was at home in my own house, yes.
Oh, gosh.
That's not acceptable?
It's not acceptable, no. I'll play it again. Can't be doing that. That's gross. Remind me to never go to a Thanksgiving meal with you.
Oh, I'm the king of that. I'm the king of if it's laying around in the kitchen.
Pick up this piece of turkey. That looks a little dry. Let me put that back. Let me grab this one instead.
Hey, dip it in the gravy and start eating it without a plate.
Yeah, exactly.
I do bring a napkin every once in a while. I use a napkin though.
Oh my gosh, that is nasty. I'm
but I don't dip chips and then dip it back in the same chip. I don't do all that stuff.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing right there. 2 quick questions. The 2 things that I want to answer the most from CDC tonight. We'll recap the town hall event tomorrow and actually tell you what CDC had to say instead of just speculating on what he could talk about. But number 1, again, the spring game. Do we see the return of the orange-white scrimmage? A big concern for a lot of coaches and why a lot of schools around the country pulled the plug on it last year was because of that second portal window, right? After the spring. Now that second portal window is gone. So, nobody at Texas can leave. They can't enter the portal until next season is done. So could we see the return of the orange-white scrimmage? I hope the answer to that is yes. And then I think an even bigger question, what about the future of the non-conference schedule, right? I mean, not to beat a dead horse, but Texas playing Ohio State instead of Texas State kept the Longhorns out of the playoff this past year. Chris Del Conte and Steve Sarkisian have already told us that the return trips for Ohio State and Michigan will happen. So the Longhorns are going to play the Buckeyes this fall. They're going to play Michigan here in Austin next fall. Beyond that, There's a home and home with Notre Dame scheduled. Is that going to stay on the schedule? What does Texas do? Because the Longhorns are literally shooting themselves in the foot by scheduling these hard games. So is that going to
that's
change
gonna be interesting.
anytime soon?
That's going to be interesting. The home and home, I mean, fans want that game. I know
get it.
I know fans. That's Notre Dame home and home. That's two powerhouses, blue bloods. I mean, that's tough to say. No, we're going to go play Sam Houston instead. That's just a tough one for a ticket holder.
I get it.
I know what it does to you at the end of the year. And Notre Dame doesn't give a crap. They'd won out for sure. You know that.
Oh, it's interesting. I mean, you talk about, the season ticket holder. I mean, I can't sit here and argue that Sam Houston is more compelling than Ohio State. But, number one, going to a 9-game SEC schedule. So
True.
every other year, you're already adding another marquee game. And number two, I just think that the majority, not everybody, but the majority of fans would rather see Texas play in the college football playoff than watch an Ohio State or Michigan game in September. Don't you?
Yeah, they would rather beat those teams in September.
Of course. You want to have your cake and eat it too, right? We'll use that expression again.
Yes.
Like that best case scenario is, you get these marquee matchups and you win and they don't cost you a playoff spot. But we literally just found out, doesn't have to happen every year, but if you keep scheduling these games every year, it'll happen again where a loss to a team like this that you don't have to play keeps you.
And who knows when they'll get to 16 or 24 teams? Who knows?
Right. And look, I mean, at that point, then obviously your chances of still making the playoff are better than what they are now, despite that loss. But I don't know. I mean, maybe CDC doesn't answer it. Maybe he's like, we're just going to wait and see what the playoff looks like. And if it goes to 16 or 24, then we're going to keep these games on the schedule. But if it stays at 12, then maybe we won't. Maybe he's like, man, screw Notre Dame. That'd be so great if tonight he's like, man, F those Catholics. We're done with Notre Dame. Like, they don't want to play anybody. We're not going to play
find out if Limu, Emo, and Doug can parachute into the stadium. That would be important to ask him. Can we have that happen next year? Jetpack Man. We got to have Jetpack Man. Yes.
Limu.
Yeah, we want them parachuting.
Emu. He's goth.
Yeah, we need them to come back and we need them to parachute into the stadium this year.
Dude,
and Doug.
I stumbled upon, I got to wear this on the show at one point. I recently stumbled upon a Liberty Mutual sweater.
Come on, man.
Has a logo of Limu Emu on the chest.
Really?
I got to wear it on the shirt. It's like a tiny little emu. Like, if you're looking from a distance, you're like, what the hell? Like, what is that? It just looks like a brand, right? But it is a Limu Emu logo. And I got to wear that on the show. And it would be great if we did have Limu Emu, or Emo, as you call him, because he hates life these days and his parents don't listen to him. And Doug streaking on the field like they do in that commercial. Yeah, but last year somebody asked CDC if pickleball was about to be an NCAA sport. There's always some ridiculous silliness that happens here. Somebody is like, hey, can we get rid, or like, hey, someone asked, how does the athletic department plan to acknowledge the social work building? Or I don't know. There's all sorts of ridiculousness that gets asked. So
just ask him about Jetpack. Ask him about Jetpack Man. We need that return.
I'll ask about Jetpack Man tonight, and I'll probably get booed for asking it because I think
you'll get a standing O.
God, he was so loud. You didn't go to the game, so you didn't have to hear it. I was a student at the time. I was sitting close because I'd get there early, and that was so freaking loud. Jetpack Man.
Really? His legs never got caught on fire. Nothing ever happened to his body.
Oh, that would have been entertaining.
God,
I would have loved to have seen that, but no, we didn't get to see anything like that. So.
Man.
There you go. That's tonight. It's also streamed on whatever's left of Longhorn Network at 6:00. So
there's still a Longhorn Network.
I don't even know what it is anymore, but I do think that still exists in some capacity. So you'll be able to watch it. Again, we'll have clips on the show tomorrow and talking about everything that Chris Del Conte had to say. And again, I'm sure there will be some pretty funny moments that we will dive into. All right, we'll save the We'll save the Savannah Guthrie story until tomorrow. I'm sure some
Please.
more will unfold. Check this out, Buck. This is just a wild story involving Savannah Guthrie, who, of course, is a host on the Today Show on NBC. Long story short, her mother has been reported missing, and they believe that she was abducted and someone forced entry into their home.
That's the 84-year-old mother.
84-year-old mother, and there are reports about a ransom note that TMZ got their hands on, where whoever kidnapped her is looking for like millions of dollars in Bitcoin. More is going to come out, so we could talk about this tomorrow, but just a wild story, and hoping everything's okay. Crazy. But that will do it for today's episode.
Sweet.
Good stuff, Buck. That was fun. Tomorrow, Lee Sterling from Paramount Sports will join us.
We'll buck off and buck ons tomorrow
on Super Bowl 60. And of course, buck off Thursday. So some buck ons and buck offs as well. But we will talk to y'all tomorrow. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Bucky and BK show.
Welcome.